Hi, I'm Jerry the Free Spirit.
Oh, and I'm the artist known as Africa's.png.
I am also an artist called Sid Sensei. Yeah.
And this is the Comexposed show. We're on episode 6, guys.
Nice.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
It's pretty far.
Yeah.
We're almost there though. We're almost there at 10. 10.
Don't you celebrate like episode like 5 and then 10 and then 15?
I mean,
Don't
it's
you
more.
want 5?
I mean, it's more of like an exponential thing. Go 5, 10.
Maybe
20,
go you
then 30,
celebrates in
then
threes.
50.
Okay. Yeah, totally fair. Makes total sense.
Speaking of sense, what is up for today?
So, have you guys
How
ever
does that
cancelled? What?
segue make sense?
It will, it can, and it will.
Okay.
So,
well, let's make it make sense.
yes.
Have you ever cancelled anyone? And if so, why?
I have never cancelled anyone. I've seen people getting cancelled for some of the most mundane stuff. They say a joke, right? That isn't really targeting anyone per se, right? It's just a joke that's out there. Maybe stating a fact, maybe even just poking fun at themselves or their own experiences. And then all of a sudden you see rioters from all across the globe going like, you need to be cancelled. And yeah, that just kind of
What, like literally like people in the streets?
Online
with
rioters.
pitchforks or...
I want to put it like that so that it can be interesting, but nah, it's really less exciting than that. Yeah, sometimes you need to spice up conversations so that people know what's happening.
It'd be like that sometimes. People go in the streets and they're like, we hate that joke.
Has anyone actually like ever rioted because of someone getting cancelled online? Do you think?
That's deep. I don't know.
I wonder about that. I wanna
Not on this side of the world.
Of
course.
I'd hope not.
Because here we're so chilled about stuff.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
do
you
you know
remember
someone?
some? You remember some?
Maybe. I don't know if it counts.
Okay, proceed.
Remember November 2017?
Hey!
Okay.
Whoa, do you know what?
Okay.
That's a legit point.
That's a legit point right there. That's a
Okay,
legit
so then
point.
we've all cancelled somebody.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
technically-
have cancelled people. I mean,
technically,
I wasn't really
wow,
aware that it was
that's
cancelling, but
Do you
we kind
know?
of did.
Wow, Jay.
Okay.
Have you ever cancelled anyone besides
I mean, yeah, R. Kelly,
2017.
for sure.
R. Kelly? Hey.
And I was not with it.
Ish.
I was not with it. I was terrified. I was horrified.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
age is just a number.
So do you still listen to his music?
That's the weird part, right? Because like he makes really good music. Like the remix to Ignition was really good, and I like that song. But listening to it now, it kind of is like
Yeah.
it's weird. It feels icky.
Bad taste.
You know,
Pun
because like
intended there.
understanding the person behind it was so heinous, it kind of sours the art they made. But it's a thing that I think we should learn how to do to separate the art from the artist, because this thing I enjoy now is ruined. But I want to keep enjoying it, because like it's a
Yeah.
good song.
But like you're saying you want to separate,
The art
but
from the
like
artist, yeah.
the art is part of him, I believe. Especially because he writes the songs himself.
True.
What
There
is
was
his
some
what is his
nasty lines on there.
motivation? Then he turns out to be this person.
I think that's true. To a degree, like it's a thing that we should learn how to do. I personally want to learn how to separate the art from the artist, so I can enjoy any piece of art regardless of who made it,
Yeah.
and just understand it and how it contributes to how I think.
Yeah.
But it's not a thing for everyone, because sometimes you can't get over the ick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some heinous stuff that people have been accused, of.
And not accused
And,
as
and
well.
convicted. And convicted. And
Caught.
It
convicted.
goes beyond just
Red-handed.
accused.
Ultra HD 4K.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Who was that? Was it Bill Cosby? I was sad in that.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
Cosby
goodness.
shows just feels weird now.
like,
but I haven't
To
stopped
this day, I
watching
can't
it.
really watch the Cosby Show without thinking, but those women though, they that kind of happened.
They went through it.
They went through some stuff, and
horrible.
it's like each time I seen that jolly character, I'm like, okay, I can't see that with a very wholesome face anymore.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Nice. So do you think cancel culture is holding people accountable for their actions, or do you think that it's
I want
helping?
to say yes, but recently I've seen a trend where people tend to get cancelled for saying things kind of.
You mentioned that earlier. Do you have like an example? Because I think it can
I have a good example of where cancel culture
scale.
can be done, right?
Can be.
Yeah, right. For instance, for those who are, children of the internet like I am, right? You know of a man called Logan Paul. Are you familiar with Logan Paul?
Yeah.
This was the thing that happened a while back, right? Where he went to Japan and he, showed.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you remember the thing.
Yeah,
Right?
that was pretty.
That
bad.
was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad.
For those who don't know, Logan Paul is a viner who eventually turned into a YouTuber after Vine did the whole thing, right? He went to Japan and showed his experiences, showed some beautiful places, then went to a very known forest in Japan for
Aokigahara. I'm getting the name wrong.
Yes,
but it starts with an A and it ends with an A.
Yes.
It's long.
But it's a very famous forest for people who want to exit server. So
Wow.
so he showed a body of a person who did that, and his reaction was very dude bro like.
He made fun of the entire situation.
Yeah, it was very dude bro.
And
That's insensitive.
it was very insensitive, and so much backlash for it.
Yeah, so I can understand cancel culture working in that kind of aspect.
Because he changed as a person. He then got more mature. And he understood after his apology that like things have to be different. You can't treat people that way.
Speaking of apology, so like I've seen even Jamie Foxx, was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago, he gave an apology. He offended Jews, I think. He made a statement, a joke or something, and a certain group of people were
Now that
offended.
I'm thinking about it, Jamie Foxx and Kanye West made a song together.
About
And then they kind of offended the same group of people,
in
but
that
in
song.
different timelines. And that correlation is okay. Proceed.
Yes, and then so I just then saw the apology. I'm like, what's Jamie Foxx apologizing for? And so now there's so many apologies. I think Lizzo has apologized. All these,
but Lizzo was kind of bugging. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, but like
Those
these
allegations
apologies
are
are
really
just
true.
like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like the Travis Scott apology when people died.
What was the
at his
apology?
show.
Oh yes.
No, but then again, I don't think Travis Scott can be.
No. As the artist on stage, you can see so much.
Oh yes.
Unless he
there's
was
so
not
many
lucid.
Examples of other artists who are paying attention. I think recently at Dream Fest or DreamCon or whatever, with the Dreamville one, JID was on stage. He saw in the crowd someone fell. He stopped the show. She got picked up, taken to the ambulance.
Monica saw a man beating up his chick, and she stopped the show and went to confront him.
It's on the artist to like be monitoring people at
To be
the
woke.
time. To be awake at the very least. And then
Yeah.
Dude, his apology was bad.
It
Yeah.
was pretty bad.
He
yeah.
didn't care. It's horrible to
Yeah,
see
so it's
that.
just like, oh, the backlash. So let me just apologize and get it over and done with.
Exactly.
But he's not really remorseful
Yeah.
because he doesn't really see what he's done, what that they've. Ugh.
He didn't see the value of what was lost.
Yes, but then that also brings me to my next point. Do you think that there's so much pressure to curate what you
perfect.
say to be, like people are not authentic anymore? You have to be politically correct every time you say something. You have to think like five times. Oh, what is the word for this? Because words have changed as we know them. You
That's
can't use
true.
the same word that you used 50 or 20 years ago today. It will mean something offensive to someone else, to a certain group of people. So you're scared, like, oh my gosh, I might offend this person, I might offend that person. So now there's just so much pressure, and if I say something, a different opinion from you, you might just come at me.
And cancel you,
And
yeah,
then
and-
also the cancel culture is like, I've noticed, it's like, okay, I'm canceling R. Kelly, but it's not enough that I'm canceling him by myself. I have to bring Jerry along. I have to bring Daniel along. And if you guys don't rally behind me, you're not for the cause. And then now I'm putting pressure on you to feel how I'm feeling.
That is a bit of a weird way to think about things, I think, when you now want to force other people into it. I think I saw some videos where there was a group of kids, a group of Muslim kids, and since in their religion it's not okay for a man to be with another man, they went and threw eggs at a gay building in their neighborhood. And like, that's
Yeah.
That's now quite kind of crossing the line. You
Yes.
don't force your beliefs onto other people.
Exactly.
Right. But I do kind of think that there was a point I wanted to say about what you said earlier. It was very interesting, the thing that you said
Process
about.
Process it, Jerry.
I'm trying. I'll be back. I got you.
You do it.
I'll be back.
Yes.
Well, while I think of that, let me borrow some opinions from other people. If you want to have your opinions heard, please just join the Comexposed group in
Yes.
the pinned comment. Yeah, let's find a pinned comment.
Yes.
So, someone responded to the question: does cancel culture help us as people? With the answer, a whole lot of nuance, and it depends on the particular case and to you as a person. I honestly can't bring myself to listen to R. Kelly's music now. Does it help us Tese as people? I don't know. In cases where there has been rehabilitation, I think it's good.
Yeah.
So he's been rehabilitated.
R. Kelly?
R. Kelly?
I mean,
He's
still
in jail. He's paying the price. Isn't that
So,
isn't that
yeah.
good? Isn't that what we wanted?
It's in process, okay? It's in the process. Okay?
What else are we supposed to do to him?
Uh,
Because right now it feels like
No,
R.
we
Kelly
can't
is the
really
poster
do
child
anything.
for cancel culture.
no, we can't really do anything about this. Right?
He really
it's
is.
now up to the law to to kind of, should I say, I don't want to say correct the wrong because the law didn't really do any wrong, but R. Kelly did do something.
Is there a statute of limitation on someone being cancelled? Let's use R. Kelly. He's the main guy right now. Like, let's say 5 years have gone by, so you can say, finally, okay, it's been a while. Let's let that guy go. Or we're gonna cancel him till he exits server.
I remember there was.
I don't know. We're not gonna go.
No, I remember there was back when the Flash was still kind of booming. Actually, no,
the Ezra Miller story?
no, not Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller is I'm talking about the CW Flash.
I didn't watch it. I'm not sure.
Okay. There was an actor there who was quote unquote cancelled, right, for saying a very offensive joke back in like 20. It was back in the day, like 2012, 2011, right? He had said it on Twitter, right? So the Flash was kind of entering either its final season or like the season before that, right? And that kind of surfaced up to the point where he was actually yeeted off the entire show
For
a comment that he did 10 years ago.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's interesting. I would have wanted to hear the comment, but like since he got cancelled for it, we can't say it here.
We'll get cancelled.
But it's interesting to think that I think it was in line with the forgiveness thing. Like, when can we say it's okay for you to now be a different person, who doesn't hold the same views that you had way back then, Because 10 years is quite a long time. Dudes change, like that's a long time. You were in uni, high school, or whatever, way back then. You're not the same person now. But then, could still be the same person.
Could
Yeah.
still be the same person.
Some
That's
people
where
don't
the
change.
argument kind of flies, right?
But
the person could have matured within those 10 years, but at the same time, they could have still been that same rowdy person who still finds that joke funny like 10, 20 years later on. And, when they start doing the whole apology video, it's more or less surface level and they don't really mean it.
Exactly. What's stopping people from thinking that, they're just phoning it in to look good?
Yeah, and it happens a lot on it.
Oh, that's what
That
people are
might be
doing.
the problem with cancel culture, because it's so dependent on how people act and think. It's not a concrete thing about this person for sure did this and they for sure did that, because you can get canceled for just about anything. There's no scale to it. The same way R. Kelly got canceled for being a pedophile and other things. Demi Lovato got canceled for tweeting badly about a yogurt shop.
A
Yogurt
shop?
Yeah, it was all
what?
pretty ridiculous. I followed the story. I like drama sometimes on the internet, so like I followed the story pretty intensely.
Wow.
But she got canceled for she went into a yogurt shop and she was dieting for whatever reason, and she saw some dietary posters or whatever that were telling her this this yogurt here is sugar free. These snacks here are sugar free and stuff like that. And it made her think of before when she wasn't dieting and she was having trouble eating and she had an eating disorder.
Yes.
So she felt kind of like triggered by that.
My word.
You know? And she then tweeted about, oh, this yogurt shop signage is like frustrating me and stuff. And people got very mad at her for supposedly punching down on a smaller yogurt shop because she's
I would have done that as well.
a celebrity. It makes sense that she's mad about it, right? Because hey, her yogurt doesn't like it's not supposed to talk to her and tell her that she's fat or whatever the heck. But at the same time, I don't know if it's such a big deal that the yogurt is labeled sugar free.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know that that's the biggest part of your day that's going to, you know.
There's bigger problems out
is
there.
Context towards
I think even in your own, you know, even in your own runnings, like just doing things, surely that's not like the biggest thing.
Yes, that would upset you that
No, but
day.
is there like context towards that? Because I noticed that sometimes what can happen is a celebrity, right, or someone of higher power can just, you know, vent out their frustration on
online,
social media platform, right? Not for the sake of cancelling, but for the sake of
just getting it out, because
they're
they're a person,
and then the
they're
fans
venting.
just kind of mistake that as them being attacked.
Yeah.
I can agree, but at the same time, I don't remember the tweets exactly, but everyone seemed to be in the consensus that she was kind of being mean to the yogurt shop for the sake of that.
Like, avoid it.
You know, you just don't have to look at it.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Yes.
You see something gross, oh, I'm not going to tweet about that. Or I'm just going to not look at it.
Or touch it.
You know, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
There's a thing on the internet recently that I've really been frustrated with, where people, they give so much life to the things they dislike by talking about them all the time.
All the time. And then when people are like, yo, get over it,
And
it's like,
now
oh,
you
you're
look like
insensitive.
that.
Exactly.
Because like you're feeding the algorithm. The algorithm doesn't care if your video is negative or positive. It
But as
just
long
sees
as
The views and
the numbers.
the numbers.
The engagement, basically.
Yeah. If it
But as long as
sees-
you're engaging with this topic, right?
Yeah.
It will keep on, you know.
Exactly. And it's just feeding into the negativity. It's just if you really like something, let's talk about the things we like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
So would you say like people are now more sensitive? Because I can't.
Definitely.
Like I'm trying to think of just give an example of 10 years ago. People weren't this sensitive. You could say what you wanted freely, and people would disagree and move on, but it wasn't like a thing. And even canceling wasn't even like a thing. But now people are just sensitive. They're triggered. Everything is just like, oh, this yogurt. Oh, reminds me of this bad time. I'm going to talk about it.
So, I think there was a British comedian, Ricky Gervais. He said,
Oh, is that the guy
interesting
from The
thing.
Office?
I think so. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
yes.
From The Office.
From the what? From the Office?
Who does The Office? Ricky something.
I don't know. I don't know if he did The Office, but he's a very funny British comedian.
Yes.
And he said that it's not that you can't talk about things that offend other people. It's just that they're going to tell you how they feel about it, and then you can tell them how they feel about it, and you can have this back and forth, as opposed to before, where it was like, I say something and no one can say anything to me. You know, now you have accountability for what you're saying, and I think it's a beautiful system because now everyone, for lack of a better word, can be heard. You know,
But I also think like if someone says something that you disagree with, it's okay
Yeah,
to not
exactly.
have to say anything, and you don't have to take it personally, especially if it has nothing to do with you.
exactly.
I think it's
up
okay
to
to
the
move
person
on. You
to-
don't
to
need
be
to then
logical.
go tweet about them and be like, oh, because like I'm going back to the yogurt thing. You shouldn't have told me about that, but it's not like they made that thing to offend her.
Yeah,
and say,
yeah,
"We're-
that is
today we're going to offend Demi Lovato. It's
They
like
really did it.
because a lot of people are enjoying that yogurt. Yeah.
No, I could have understood that whole tweet thing because I can't. It's really bugging me how, you know, a yogurt shop can be triggered by
Can trigger.
It can trigger someone like that and cause like an entire uproar, right? When in fact they're just doing their own thing.
Did you hear about the other one? She didn't get canceled for it, but this was a thing where the internet was kind of frustrated. During COVID, Gwyneth Paltrow, I think it was Gwyneth Paltrow, like No, wait, let me not say Gwyneth Paltrow specifically because I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it was a very famous lady, very rich, very opulent. She was
Money.
reduced to eating bread
Why?
Why?
during COVID. Oh, because times were so tough.
Ooh.
So, like, the internet was very mad that she tweeted about that. Don't remember who it was, and I think I should look it up before I continue.
Wow.
But someone was so frustrated with the fact that, I ate bread that I Twitter fingers my way out of this. I think these people, they get to a point where their lives are so easy that these things are huge problems to them.
Yes.
And while it's a ridiculous problem for us, because like in those guys every day.
That's
just
not a big deal, yeah.
And I was like, whatever, I eat bread.
And like bread is like 50
Yeah,
cents, right?
the dollar.
$1, 50
No,
cents
50
way.
No, like in where those guys are.
Oh, I mean, maybe.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
Yeah,
probably
but different kinds of bread as well.
yeah, there's
I mean,
gluten-free
you can
bread.
walk in there and get a sourdough.
I only know
baguettes.
Lobos and Bakers in, man.
You
Yeah,
know.
I only
But
know those
anyway,
ones.
So like
And Proton.
their problems to them, they're so big. When yet, as yet like, to other people, it's just tiny.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but then again, there's also like the whole victimization culture, right? Where people
Yes.
want to feel like, you know, they have been attacked personally by it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times when like when a group gets personally attacked, right, by a certain thing, right, directly, right, and that's when, you know, it's wrong, right? That's when things kind of take a turn for the worst. But when something that is not directed to, like when you take offense to something that's not directed to you personally, right, and you feel like it's kind of a problem, right, and people need to
It
feel
was
your
Gwyneth
pain,
Paltrow.
right?
Oh.
Wait, oh, it was?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. Yeah, he was right. Swag. Anyways, like when people now start feeling as if this thing that's not directed to them, right, that is kind of being done indirectly, right, is triggering them, right?
Yeah.
They want to feel attacked. They want to feel victimized, right? Yes, there are experiences that you can have that can trigger trauma, right? We have those. We can associate certain things with traumatic events that happened in the past, right? But if it's not directed to you, right, right, if it's not directed to you and saying that you insert name here, right, this is for you, right, or this is something that I am going to yeet at you, right, at you with this, right, simply because you are affected by it, right. If it's not that, then I don't feel like it's of relevance to cancel such a thing, right? I don't feel like it's of relevance to start aggravating that said thing simply because it's just doing its own thing. Right?
Okay, so I want to ask you about R. Kelly.
Yeah, what
You were not involved. You don't know anyone who was involved. So why are you cancelling him?
Oh, I canceled him.
Nah, he canceled
His point
him.
is, if you're not directly
involved.
affected, you shouldn't. It's not a bit. You shouldn't cancel. So,
That's totally fair.
like with R. Kelly,
There is
With
that
R.
social
Kelly, with R.
justice.
Kelly,
yes, Ubuntu.
You're like,
No.
I care because I'm human.
Yes.
Because I can see someone going through that.
Okay.
yes, you can see someone going through that, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that. Because I'm looking at the yogurt thing, right?
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yes, the
Yeah.
yoga thing is really ridiculous, but you see that a lot in common happening in social media, right? The R. Kelly thing is more. Now that's breaking law right there.
Yeah.
Now that's breaking a law. That's breaking a big boy law right
And moral
there.
code.
Yeah, and moral code. Because why would you do such a thing
Yeah.
to such a person?
So are we agreeing that cancel culture makes sense, whether you're into it or not, when it's things that affect humanity, like your life, your morality, your dignity, or whatever, not yogurt, something that triggers you personally as a person, but like what R. Kelly did to those women, what Bill Cosby did, what Oscar Pistorius did.
Tory Lanez did.
Yes.
Lanez. Yeah.
Is it Lanez or Lanes?
I call him Lanez because swag. So,
Time Chris Brown got cancelled for hitting Rihanna.
oh
Yes,
yeah.
he was cancelled, but look, people are reviving to him now. We love him.
Well, yeah, I guess. But then some people can like now argue against it and say, "Oh, he was 17.
He was
he
young.
threw his car keys away." You know. Like,
Which brings back to that whole age thing where a
then-
person can mature.
yeah.
And-
But as you change,
I guess I guess what it is reprimanding people.
Yes.
It's showing them that this behavior is not okay.
Yes.
We're
Your
not happy
actions
about
do
it.
have major consequences at the end of
You
the day.
can't go around doing that.
And as far as we know, he hasn't done.
I'm not
if
sure.
he
I
hasn't
don't keep up
repeated.
with
We haven't
Chris
heard
Brown.
anything.
Yeah,
we would.
There's not been anything.
If he had beaten someone else, we would know about
That's
it.
true. That's true.
We would know about it.
So I guess it does have its benefits in moderation.
Yeah, in moderation it does.
As long as it's, I don't like it when it's like bullying and it's like pressure. Feel what I'm feeling now and take action. If you don't post this or repost this, you're not down with the culture.
Again, if
I
it's
don't
something
like that.
that affects
that
you
militant
personally
stuff.
because of, like, if it's something that affects you personally because of certain trauma that you've had, I suggest you go, seek help. Because if it's still triggering you that badly, then you might need to talk about it with someone. But
Yeah, I guess if someone has an eating disorder, it's psychological.
it's very psychological.
It's deep down.
You really need to talk to someone about it and really try to find out how you can,
So, guys, we need to start wrapping up, but I want to find out from a Zimbabwean perspective. Is cancel culture relevant? Are we into cancel culture or we're just borrowing?
Someone in the Comexposed group has an answer to that. They said the only way you can get cancelled in Africa is if you do something extreme like murder or sexual assault. These are some of the things that I think can warrant permanent cancellation.
I agree. Because there's people who haven't done those things that deserve cancelling.
However, there is a literal example, quite literally, like the message responding to this was that some dudes went in for sexual assault and they gained good graces of the people because they looked good and not because they were repentant. Online, this Twitter account called Zim Viral on the 4th of February, it has a caption, by a crew out from jail looking good.
They came out with amnesty, right?
Yeah.
that's
crazy that you
that's
can go in
an
for something
ouchie
so
right there.
bad and then
Still come out.
yeah, just chilling.
Yeah.
Now that's
And-
an
and-
ouchie.
Probably
then
even
no
just
school.
scoping out victims, like,
You can even write a book about it.
yeah.
And you make profit, and that doesn't sit right with me.
No, I'm cancelling those people.
Yeah.
No, I'm not encouraging it.
Yeah.
It is a bit heartbreaking to hear that people don't really care too much about the events. They just pretend to.
Ish. Tough scenes.
But please
Like
do let
Joseph.
us know how you feel.
Someone has a response to it.
Oh, okay.
Someone responded, I blame social media outlets for this. It begs the question as to what message they're trying to send. But then again, this is the media. They tend to go with whatever news is convenient or popular at the moment. The public also plays a
Sensationalism.
part in bringing the person back into, being famous when there's a dilemma or like a moral battle.
So basically, mob psychology. It is mob
Yes and
psychology.
no.
Yes.
The more like that thing I talked about earlier. The more we talk about the thing,
Yes.
the more it's like just perpetuated.
Yes, and
Yeah.
being put out there by yes.
So I think it's on us as the people to understand what we're viewing, what we're talking about, as well as the media to try and be better at parsing these issues.
Wow.
Because sometimes you can like really try and bring attention to something, but instead you glorify it.
Yes.
And that's bad.
Yo, that's terrible. But guys, we have to end here, but we can continue next week talking about wokeism